Hi, Jenny and Susie here from Mother's Little Helpers, and we thought we'd tell you a little bit more about Mother's Little Helpers and unpack that a little for you because it's neat and we want to tell you about it. So, to give you a little background, I became a Shackley distributor back in February and was absolutely desperate for something to help improve the health of my family and myself. My son started preschool this year and basically from September on was averaging one attendance every 2 weeks. He was picking up all the bugs, then he would come home and the baby would get sick and then I would get sick. And it was miserable. I was depressed, exhausted. And my husband has MS, so he had to take a step back from some of the parenting duties to keep himself protected against some of the bugs that we just could not shake. So I posted on Facebook a little Hail Mary asking if anyone had any suggestions other than bone broth for what could maybe help us get well. And my friend Candy of Candy's Brain. Hi, Candy. Enjoy your Freedom Friday, hashtag Freedom Friday. That's something she started as she's transitioning out of her full-time job into being a full-time Shackley distributor. So check her out. Needless to say, she posted some suggestions that she has her kids on and herself on to stay healthy and well. I started myself on the Vitalizer and the kiddos on Incredivites and a probiotic, and we got well and we stayed well, and I became evangelical with my love of Shackley because I think we really elevate the idea of being haggard as a mother up to like if you're not tired and horrible all the time, then you're not doing it right, and you need to be doing more, and I don't think that's right, and so we want to help you. So I brought in Susie.
Yeah, so I joined because Jenny talked to me about it. I had heard about Shackley years and years ago, but it was in a time when I just didn't have any money and I had a small baby and it just wasn't really something that I wanted to do at the time. And then I didn't hear about it for years. So when Jenny brought it up to me, one of the first things that she told me about was how the vitamins helped give her more energy. And then also because I have mentioned on my personal blog and my personal channel that I have a lot of issues with anxiety and depression and have been on medication off and on most of my life. And so the idea of being on something that was more natural and pure to kind of help boost my mood and give me a little bit more of a lift sounded right up my alley. And also, I think, like Jenny said, the idea of my whole family being well and then making this into something where I could share with other women. So I've been doing like postpartum work, kind of dabbling in most of my little odd jobs and things that I do are kind of support jobs where I'm helping other people in some capacity. But the idea of incorporating what I'm helping other people with to also help my family. So taking the vitamins and then also being able to share how it's improving my family's health with other people just sounded really awesome. And I loved the idea too of being more creative and like doing something that's outside of the house that's not just, kind of being with your kids all day, which is wonderful, but sometimes we need a little more of that like good brain activity going on. And so I liked that aspect of the company. So,
well, and I think for both of us, there was the immediate health improvements that we wanted to see. And we really at the time couldn't have anticipated what becoming distributors and joining the company on the sales side of things would have done for us. But we've met a ton of women who have similar interests and are like-minded with some of the ways that we approach health and wellness with our families. And then also it's given us time to spend together and come up with, like you said, creative ways of dealing with challenges, solutions to challenges, but then also just having a lot of fun along the way.
Yeah.
So
it's nice because I would say one of my number one reasons why joining this company sounded really interesting, and not even joining a company, it was starting a business and doing something for myself was the freedom. Like when I first thought of it, I was like, freedom. Like I could actually do stuff. Not only the freedom of, I can work, and really I'm working if I'm out with my kids at the park, or I'm, during nap time or in between things that my kids are doing, the idea of being able to network with people and it doesn't feel like I'm sequestering myself in an office for 8 hours and, trying to chug along and get things done. I'm going about my normal life and still getting things done, but also for me specifically, I haven't been able to contribute financially to my family since my kids were born. So it's been 6 years that I haven't been working outside of the home. And I've taken little jobs here and there, but the idea that, I could do something that I could eventually build into, my own way of helping the family out. And then it's also revolving around health, which is amazing.
And it could legitimately change the course of your family's life. And we personally both have met people who have done just that and never been healthier along the way. Yeah. So that brings us to our sample pack that we put together called Mother's Little Helpers. As I mentioned before, we have this really strange notion that mothers should all be, or just generally accept that mothers are all tired, exhausted, miserable people.
Can we just collectively decide that we're not going to put that on a pedestal? It's real obnoxious.
Yeah, and it also is very isolating because I know there were times when I felt like I must be doing it wrong because I knew how I was feeling and thought there's no way anyone would sign up for this if they knew that this was just definitely how you were going to feel. So since I've turned all that around for myself, I feel compelled to reach out to other moms and say it doesn't have to be like this. And of course, not just moms. It just so happens that I think our circles typically run with moms of other young kids.
But even anybody if you're working, I know a lot of teachers who might not be parents or, I feel like, especially if you're in a position where you're caring for other people in some capacity, which most people are, in some capacity if you're working as a parent or not, in some way you're contributing to the needs of someone else, and that is really draining.
And you should contribute to your own needs too.
Yes.
So
put your oxygen mask on.
Right, exactly. So we put together a little package to address energy concerns. So our first sample pack, Mother's Little Helpers Energy Edition, was a huge success. We've been getting the best feedback from people who maybe were interested in the products but didn't know where to start or weren't able to really assess what product would best meet whatever ailments they had, especially when at first you might have quite a few.
It's hard to figure that out.
So we sold out, and we've gotten the products into the hands of a number of people, most of whom are mothers, but some of whom are not. Some aren't even married. So there's something for everybody. And we've got a Facebook group that we will eventually open up to the public after this trial run. And we are doing our next Facebook group, or our next Mother's Little Helpers group will start in a couple of weeks, and we will do a separate video about that. But that is Mother's Little Helpers Sleep Edition.
Yes. Because once you get your energy going through the day and you get to do everything that you need to do, which is important, sometimes people have a hard time sleeping just in general. I think it doesn't matter what you're doing, but a lot of people's mind is just racing.
Especially when you have people who may or may not interrupt you and your sleep in the middle of the night.
Physically be on you.
Yeah, who may physically be touching you constantly.
Small people.
Or big people. I don't know.
All kinds of people.
So thanks for stopping by, and we look really forward to telling you a little bit more about our new Mother's Little Helpers pack coming up. Be sure to check the hashtag Mother's Little Helpers on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, and then if you are interested in learning any more about the Shackley opportunity and more reasons why we joined, please let us know. You can find us both on Facebook. We'll link up our individual pages down below, as well as, like Jenny said, eventually when we open up the group, we'll start linking that below as well, so you can ask us anything.
Great. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.